Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Texas Girl DIYs. In today's video, I am super excited because it's in collaboration with Heidi Sonboul DIY and her new summer series, Summer DIY Daily, where Monday through Friday from June to July, she will be spotlighting a new channel every day. I will also link Heidi's channel down in the description box below, and you want to hop on over there and make sure that you are subscribed to her channel if you aren't already, because you don't want to miss out on any of the new channels she's going to be featuring. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jamie. I love doing inexpensive DIYs, thrift store makeovers, and coming soon, Dollar Tree hauls. So I've got one that's coming out pretty soon. If you don't want to miss that, go ahead, please hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. So let's go ahead and jump into these DIYs. For our first DIY, I'm going to take this 14-inch wreath form I had picked up from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be cutting out with some wire cutters the two middle rings that are in this wreath form, because all we need is just the outer ring and the inner ring. Now, I did have to go and get some better wire cutters because the ones I started out using was just not cutting it, so to speak. So I had to go get some better ones because this wreath form was actually giving me a little bit of a hard time. So that inner ring did snap in half, and so all I'm doing here is just adding some hot glue, and then I'm just going to hold these two pieces together. Now, they didn't really want to stay, so what I actually ended up having to do was kind of overlap those two pieces, and then all I'm doing here is taking some nautical rope, and I'm wrapping this around the ring. Actually, I wrap it around both rings. Now, this is some nautical rope that I happen to have on hand. I know Dollar Tree carries nautical rope, and it's a lot thicker. So what you want to do, if you have the Dollar Tree nautical rope, just separate it from the three pieces that it comes in, and separate it, and then you individually wrap the both rings, both the inner and the outer. So this is what it looks like with both rings covered in the nautical rope. And the next thing I'm going to do is, well, what I actually started off with was this windmill. And I kind of thought that I was going to use this as the center part of my project. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of folding back those windmill blades, and I'm folding them so I can get the crease, flip it over, and then with some really strong scissors, I cut that piece off because it is a windmill, but I didn't really want it to look like a windmill, if you know what I mean. So the next thing I have is the 6-inch wood dowels from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take a couple of those, and I'm taking my scissors and I'm finding the center of my dowel, and I am just going to be scoring the center of it. And then once you kind of turn the dowel as you're scoring it, you're going to be able to go ahead and snap that baby in half. So then once I have that done, I just take my sanding sponge from Dollar Tree and I sand all those edges. So these are just those wood letters that you can find over at Hobby Lobby. 2 of them are $1.29, 2 of them are 99 cents. I don't know why they're the same brand. Somebody tell me the reason why. But the nice thing is they come 2 in a pack. So the other thing is I picked up these ninja claw toys that I also got from Dollar Tree, and we are going to be breaking these apart. So you're going to take, they're actually really easy to do. So I just took my box cutter and I just went along those crease lines and broke apart this entire thing. Now you may be wondering, what on earth is she doing with these Dollar Tree claws? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're actually going to use them as our directional arrows because we are making a compass rose. Now, because I don't need these things being freakishly long, I just took those good old strong scissors of mine and I cut these babies down. The next step is I am painting these letters in the Waverly white chalk paint, and I also paint the dowels. And as you can see, I did paint that windmill, but you know what? I'm not using that windmill after all. I end up using something else, and you'll see here in just a minute. Oh, and by the way, I did go back later on and sanded those plastic little cloth pieces because paint does not like to actually stick to things that are smooth and plasticky, so sand them down and you'll be good to go. So here's what I was talking about. I had picked up this wooden round piece from Dollar Tree, and this is actually going to be the center for our compass rose. So I just clip off that little piece of string, and I do go in later on and give it a good paint. I painted it in the Waverly white chalk paint. Oh my gosh, words. Okay, so now I'm just going here with some wire cutters, and I'm actually clipping these little claw pieces down a little bit more so that they can sit a little bit more flat on that wooden round. And as you can see, my purple hand weights that are sitting on top of that inner ring, well, that's because my ring was like trying to pop up and not sit flat for me. And then it was also kind of warped. So my husband comes in later on to the rescue, flattens it out for me, and basically straightened out my circle. If that makes any sense to you. So now it is time to go ahead and hot glue all these little pieces down. So I found this little anchor over at Walmart, and I think it was like $1.50 or something like that. And then I've got my Martha Stewart paint in Magellan blue. I absolutely love this color. And then taking the Waverly chalk paint in Agave, and I'm going to paint this anchor. Now, I don't know how well you can see this in the video, but I'm using the Agave around the edge of the anchor, and then I use the Magellan blue on the top of it. So excuse my messy table, I do apologize for that. All I'm doing here right now is I have hot glued everything down, basically taking some extra wooden dowels. I decided that this piece needed a little extra structure, so I just took some extra dowels, repeating the same process as earlier, scoring, cutting, sanding, and painting some extra dowels, and then hot gluing them right next to the existing dowels. And then I've already hot glued that anchor down to the center too. And y'all know, I know that this probably seems like kind of like an advanced project, but I'm telling you, it's really not that hard. I mean, it's a little time consuming, yes, but it was actually a lot of fun. There was a little struggle here and there trying to separate that ring form, but I really love how this turned out. What I had envisioned, like in the beginning of this, is not exactly how I had it turn out in the end, but I am so much happier with the way this turned out. So the only thing that I do that is not on camera here is I do take some extra nautical rope, tie some knots to make an anchor, not an anchor, but like so I can hang my compass rose. And then I took some Waverly wax, antique wax, and then did a little bit of distressing around those directional arrows and around like that wood piece where that anchor is sitting on. Let me know down in the comments section below. You'll see here in a minute what that looks like in the end. I'm not sure if I should have kept it white or if it looks good distressed. I'm not sure. Let me know. But anyway, I really do think that y'all should try this project out. If you do, please tag me on Instagram or find me on Facebook. I would love to see how y'all's turned out. For our second and last DIY, I had picked up this adorable little sign over at Dollar Tree. Super cute, but we need to get rid of that seashell. So I just go ahead and take my butter knife and just pop her off. So now going in with my Waverly chalk paint in white, I just did one coat on the back of this board, and that is just going to be our base coat. So only one coat is needed. So Apple Barrel has these three beautiful shades of blue. This is Bimini blue, cool blue, and that last one on the end is Aqua Sky. Now this is going to be the top of our project, so for this process I'm going to go ahead and turn it on its side, and then starting with the dark blue, ending with the light blue, we're going to do an ombre effect. So starting with the cool blue, I'm going to go ahead and just add a line of paint to that very end that I know is going to be my top, and my daughter actually taught me how to do this. This is really cool. The Bimini blue is going to be in the middle, and now I don't know how well y'all can see this in the camera, but these are very different shades of blue. And that last one is Aqua Sky, and I know that that's going to be my lighter color, and I really want more of that towards the end. So then going in with the wrong brush, I go ahead and paint this board. Now I say that it's the wrong brush, and honestly it's because of the thick bristles. It does not, like, it still blends the colors in just fine, but you can see like the lines in the paint, and I don't want that. So later on, after this board is actually covered, I go in with a finer, softer paintbrush and go over this again and just really smooth out those lines. So it winds up looking a lot better than it started out to. And then of course you can add more paint as needed. As you can see, I do here. So hopefully you can see the dark going from the light. I don't know, I can't really tell from the camera. Hopefully you can. But anyway, so next I'm going in with this Beachcomber beige apple barrel paint, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to paint a beach scene. So it's going to be like a bird's eye view of like waves coming up on the beach, if you know what I mean. And so I'm just using this. This is the color going to be for like our dry sand, if you know what I mean. And I basically I do two coats with this because I really want to cover up that blue. The paint actually, because like I did like such a thin layer, it actually dried really quickly for me. So, you know, it's like as soon as I was done painting one side, I was able to go back to the other side and paint that over again and cover up that blue. So it worked out really good. So next we're going in with classic caramel apple barrel paint, and this is going to be the color for our wet sand. You know, like when the water comes up on the beach and then it like pulls back again and leaves the wet sand. That's the look we're going for. And let me tell y'all, I am no Bob Ross by any stretch of the imagination. All I'm really doing here is my daughter has a we call it a screensaver on her phone that I am looking at, and I'm just kind of like looking at it and painting what I see. You know, I really do feel like with some, you know, if you just slow down and just, you know, take your time, you could do this too. This really was not hard. And, you know, especially like if you're making like a beach scene, I mean, sand and the water, I mean, like the water has like an imagination of its own. So really you can just, there is no wrong way of doing this because, you know, sometimes the beach is messy, so it's okay. The water just kind of moves in its own way. So do not stress. Don't think I can't do this. Yes, you can. I definitely think that you can, because it's just slowing down and taking your time, and don't worry about messing up. It's paint. You can paint over it if you think that you've messed up. So it's okay. So the next thing I'm also doing here is taking some Waverly white chalk paint, and I am going to making the little waves that come in on the shore. You know, sometimes like when the water comes in and then it's, you know, kind of white and then it pulls back, and you can sometimes see like, you know, the sand through the water or you know, like the blue of the water. So I'm just kind of playing around with it until I see what I like. Next, we have this fishing net decor from Dollar Tree, and let me tell you, you get a lot in a pack. So what I'm doing now is I am just taking this fishing net and I'm wrapping it around my hand and I'm creating a knot, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this knot to one corner of my picture, pretty much covering that hole that's up there, lapping part of it over on the other side, and I'm going to stretch the net across the other side of our picture. So again, like I said, with the hot glue, just putting a little bit of hot glue right there just so the knot is secure. And then I do go through this entire thing and I put a tiny bit of hot glue on all those tiny little knots. So once that is all done, I'm just going to flip our project over, bring that net over onto the other side, and I'm going to hot glue it to the back and then trimming off the excess. And I do the exact same thing to the top part of the net with a boatload of hot glue and then cutting off the excess. Now, I had picked up these seashells from Dollar Tree. They come in a pretty decent sized pack, although over at Walmart, they have a bigger pack for like $10 and you get like a mix of seashells, but this is like pretty much like one type of seashell, if you know what I mean. So I'm just kind of rearranging everything, and then once I figure out where I want my seashells, I hot glue everything down. Those little mini seashells there on the bottom, my kids picked those up from Galveston years ago when we went down there for a trip. So now going in with my Dollar Tree stencil, I love this thing by the way, and some Waverly white chalk paint, I am going to stencil out the words, "Life is Beachy." You know, I have to tell you, I was so super excited about the way this turned out. I thought it was so cute. I couldn't wait. I took a picture of it and sent it to my husband at work. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please, if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I am very grateful to be a part of this series. Thank you so much, Heidi, for inviting me, and y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.